All right, Shalom. I want to say Ka Halal Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the yellows of great millstone. And salutation to you, acting pushing this word in truth and sincerity. I just wanted to do a quick video on being patient in this truth, because I've been the Spirit had me meditating on being patient for the last few weeks now. So I'm just going with the Spirit, and Lord willing, this is edifying to your actings. I'm going to start off with Proverbs 4. Proverbs 14 and 29. It says that Proverbs 14 and 29 says, "He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of the spirit exalteth folly." And it's true because, hey, this is a perfect example of the apostles. The apostles, you can see that right now they always, use the term that they're in cruise control. It's because they're seasoned, and when you're seasoned in this truth, man, you gain more patience. You're not it's not you're not hasty to always uh, cuss out a homosexual when you see one, or yell and condemn Esau when you see him on the streets. Okay, in the end of the day, you understand that everything's through the Lord. You see, so someone who's always not overlooking, but it's not always stressing out about this kingdom, this wicked kingdom, and Esau and all the other wicked things in this kingdom, is a man of great understanding. Because at the end of the day, man, like for me, man, personally, my woman gives me hell every day, you know. But in the end of the day, I understand it's all through the Lord, you know. My very life is hell, you know, but it's all through the Lord, because you need to be refined. Like you need to go through hell to build you up, so the Lord can build you up into the man that He needs you to be. Lord willing, of the elect, right? Because if we had a good life, man, we would love our life, and if you loved your life, it would make it more easier for you to succumb to taking the chip to keep that kind of life, man. You know, we were out on the highways today, and the brother brought out a good scripture in Ecclesiastes, roughly paraphrasing, talking about a gift blind a wise man, roughly paraphrasing. So you can't always expect good things in this kingdom, because eventually, if you get too much of that, man, it's gonna make you lack focus in the scriptures. Lack focus on what this kingdom really is. Because everybody else that's not in this truth is blinded by all the beautiful, so-called beautiful, dainty things of this world, and that keeps them at bay from the reality of this world. And the reality is that this kingdom's coming down any moment now, man. Yahweh is sending Yahweh Shai down here any moment. That's how close we are to the end. And so, knowing that when you go through hell, you can't be hasty. You have to acquire and discipline yourself to acquire patience. Although it's hard, especially being young. Being young, I can attest to that, because being young, you know, um, it's easy to not be patient and just to get things going, and to always react quickly instead of sitting down there and meditating on the situation and on yourself and everything. So really, for especially for you young brothers like me, if you're young, you know, really discipline yourself to acquire patience. Um, I'll read this again, and it says, Proverbs 14 and 29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of the spirit exalteth folly. All right. This is Romans 12 and 12. Romans 12 and 12, and it reads, "Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation." I'm gonna start from 11 actually. Romans 12 and 11, it reads, "Not slothful in business, fervent in the spirit, serving the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai." rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation. And you know what? I'm gonna look up that word patience real quick. I already know what it means, but just to edify. Um, it says here patience. This is the word in the Greek.
Strong's G 5278. Hupamano. Hupamano.
It says to remain, to tarry behind, to abide, not recede or flee. Okay, and being hasting in that would be fleeing. Instead of sitting there and suffering through the tribulation. It says, here's one. It says to preserve, under misfortunes and trials, to hold fast to one's faith in Yahushai, to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. So that's the word patience means to suffer, and this really just means to suffer. You know, because being patient is not easy. And especially knowing the truth, knowing the truth makes it easy for you to be impatient because you already know that. For example, going to work every day. You understand that it's you're not actually supposed to be technically you're not supposed to be working for for Esau, but you're working for him because also the Lord made it like that. So you might have a bad day, go through a bad day at work, and and you might be really getting afflicted at work, and it might make you, and you might just up and leave your job and quit. Instead of being patient and suffering the tribulation at work, and that's being hasty, right? As being impatient and being hasty in the spirit. Yeah, your boss might be giving you hell, but in the end of the day, that's why I read the scripture before in Proverbs there 14 and 29. It says, he that is slow to anger is of great understanding. So there's days where you be afflicted, you be getting afflicted on all angles, and it just seems like nothing, like it's not gonna let up. It could be going for months, but you have to understand that it's all the Lord. The Lord is the one who's actually doing it to you, but you also have to understand why He's doing it to you. He's doing it to you to refine you, right? Because the Lord also said He loveth whom He chastise. So see, that's why it's also so beautiful. It's beautiful to stay in the scriptures when you're going through hell, because the scriptures are a constant reminder of what's going on and why you're going through what you're going through and why this and that is happening. It's the comfort. It's the comforter. The scriptures are the comforter, which is Yahweh Shai. You know, uh, it says here. So I'm gonna read that again. Romans 12 and 12. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing in instant prayer. All right. Let me get Galatians 6 and 9. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, and it reads, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season, okay, in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So, don't get fed up and be weary of, being in this truth, because so-called a lot of so-called men of the Lord have come in and out of this truth, and they fell out because they couldn't handle the hell that they were going through. They might have lost their women. lost their children, family, friends, their job. But it says, let us not be weary in well doing, because in the end of the day, you could be going through all this hell, but this work is well doing. This is what you should be doing. You know, as an Israelite, you should be following the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and doing the work. If you're called, you should be doing the work. So, um, so it says, let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So guess what? The Lord is saying, basically saying, though it tarry, wait. It should not, though it tarry, wait for it. It surely shall come. Lord, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. So if you're not weary in well doing, which well doing is doing this work, okay, in due season, in due time, the Lord will let us reap of if we faint not, man. If we keep running this race, we're gonna get Esau as our slaves, and these other nations are our slaves. Our women are gonna start fucking respecting us. Part of my language, but hey, man, your woman will give you hell. Okay, they'll start respecting you. Okay, they'll start serving you like they're supposed to. Like they are, because the word woman means servant. And look it up if you don't believe me. It means servant. So they'll start respecting you. These other nations will start respecting you. Esau's gonna be start. Esau's gonna be. It's gonna force. It's gonna be forced to respect you. Okay, you're gonna have to respect you, and it's gonna be put under your foot. You're no longer gonna have to deal with this fleshly body always being sick and sore and bruised. At the age of 22, feeling like you're 55. You know, we're gonna have pure food, pure water, spiritual powers, and so on, man. No one's gonna go hungry. We're all gonna be rich. So that's what we wait. That's what you're supposed to be patient for, because that's what you're supposed to suffer for. You know, nothing good come easy. This thing, the promise that the Lord has for the elect is worth waiting for, and we're soon gonna see. We're soon gonna see what the Lord has in store for this kingdom. We already know it's coming for destruction, right? But you're gonna really figure out who the true men of the Lord are. Only the true men of the Lord have enough patience to suffer in this kingdom all the way through. All right. So that's it with that, and I'm gonna close up. Hope you brothers got edified, man. And I want to say, Kal Halal Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to you acting pushing His word in truth and sincerity, man. And don't forget, man, discipline yourself to acquire patience, man, and pray and fast for patience. All right, Shalom.